Hello, everybody. Again, this is Dr. Bill Williams on the Influencers Podcast, and we're here on a Wednesday morning for our second helping of joy, of fun, of relaxation, learn something new. Speaking of joy, I've got a special treat for you. My guest coming up is Cody Joy, head of affiliate partnerships at impact.com. And it's such a joy to have you here, Joy.
Thank
I
you for
love playing
having me.
with your name. It's got to be something you've enjoyed all your life.
Absolutely.
People make fun of my name, William Williams, and I can't tell you how many times that I've had to endure a cashier at a checkout counter looking at my charge card saying, "Did your mother realize what she was doing?"
It was really nice of her.
So welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And head affiliate partnerships and education. That's quite a title. And I'm particularly interested in affiliate marketing, affiliate work, because that's part of what we do. So I really would look forward to our audience hearing about you and your experience. So let's get right into that. Tell us where you were, what happened, how'd you get into this business of affiliate marketing?
Completely on accident. Like everybody else in this industry, I think. I went to college for broadcasting. I thought I was going to be a radio star. Joke was on me. Those jobs are far and few between. So I quickly realized out of college I needed to pivot. I kind of fell into an internship doing influencer marketing at a company called Pop Sugar and sort of parlayed that. Their influencer and affiliate are very similar, and there's a lot of overlap. So that parlayed into a job at Levi's doing their affiliate program. Prior to that role, I had no affiliate experience, really. I didn't know what it was. So it was quite the crash course. But I just really happened to like it. And I moved from there to agency experience where I built out the affiliate service for an agency called W Promote, learned a ton there. And then all through my career, I had been running affiliate programs on the Impact software. And I really liked the company. I had worked with the same people for years and years. I worked with a lot of other softwares as well, but Impact was always my favorite. So when there was a role available that, was going to be teaching others how to do everything I've learned with this great company I'd worked with for so long, it was kind of a no-brainer for me. I feel like I'm in my dream role that I didn't know existed. So it's been like a weird avenue to get here, but it's all very meant to be, I think.
It's kind of nice to be using a software and then become part of the success of that software in the affiliate market. So it's like a union. It was meant to be.
Yeah.
Was there somewhere along the way you stumbled and fell and stubbed your toe, got up and kept going and recovered well?
So many times. I think anybody in affiliate marketing will understand. There are times where you overspend budget. There are times when you maybe forget to get contracts signed that you're supposed to, things that feel very like life ending. But I think for me, the biggest piece has always been to own up to your mistakes right away and come to the table with solutions. I know people can often be afraid, especially when you're managing companies have really big budgets. And the first time you get your hands on millions of dollars to spend, it can be very scary and you don't want to mess up, but it's going to happen. So owning your mistakes right away has always really benefited me. And again, coming with solutions is always a big recommendation of mine.
The biggest contract you ever was part of, how big was that?
Oh man. When I was at Levi's, I spent lots of money during like the holiday season. I'm trying to think of like one sort of media buy that was like really big, not even just at Levi's, but when I was in an agency too, like a lot of the sort of more content focused lifestyle websites like People and Life and Style, that kind of thing, their placements can go up to $50,000 for just like one spot, So, yeah, lots of big contracts have been signed.
Yeah, really interesting. How do people in the business tend to fail, and what would be something you're personally aware of, 3 things that people did that failed, why they failed?
Yeah, I think in affiliate specifically, people often don't want to try new things. So this industry is always evolving, and just because something worked for your business last year doesn't mean it's going to have the same result this year. So people fail because they don't look for new opportunities or like new beta tests to try with their partners. People don't open the door for new partners, and they're not staying on top of industry trends. I think, with the whole expansion of AI and that kind of thing, it's on affiliate managers to figure out how that fits into their job and make it work to their benefit. So I think it all ties back to being a little bit closed-minded, or perhaps getting comfortable with the way that you're running your programs. I think the more you can stay agile and try new things, the better you'll be for it.
And so, to clarify for the audience, you mainly represent companies that bring affiliates to represent them in the marketplace.
Yeah, so it's two-sided. There's obviously the brand side that's running programs and working with affiliates, and then there's the affiliate side who's working with brands, and driving traffic and revenue to their sites. So my experience primarily has been on the brand side, but I have a counterpart at Impact, Laura Press. She's got lots of publisher experience, and she does what I do for publishers. So she makes content for affiliates to learn how to work with brands, and I teach brands how to work with affiliates.
So it would be very worthwhile for somebody who's interested in getting into these areas to have a mentor or somebody they can go to.
Yeah. And like, just to sort of promote us a little bit, like our Partnerships Experience Academy has all the courses you need, and I'm always available too to like have meetings one-on-one with people. I have a Calendly link, like anybody who wants to learn more or have some advice or a session with me can do that.
Oh, that's excellent advice. So when we get to the place of how we support you,
Yeah,
bring that back up, because that's a
absolutely.
good one. What's your day-to-day motivation to keep doing this?
I just love my job. It's very simple. I think in previous roles I've needed more, like monetary motivation or that kind of thing. But in this role, I'm just like very happy with what I'm doing. And it makes it all worthwhile when I see people in person at conferences and they say like, oh, the courses that you made have been so helpful for me, or I learned something. It's just like the best feeling in the whole world. So that is what motivates me every single day.
Super. What about your company motto?
We are empowering partnerships. It's always about empowering partnerships and building better partnerships. And the ecosystem is always evolving. We have, traditional affiliate marketing is really overlapping with influencer and creator marketing, is overlapping with referral marketing and B2B marketing, and all of it is kind of colliding. And we really want to make it easy for brands and affiliates and publishers to kind of come together.
Yeah, I find myself wanting a book on all of that, starting from what's the definition of everything you just said, all the way to how do you succeed in each one of those areas. It's like, that's so deep, and it's interesting to me as a
Yeah.
marketer. I cut my teeth on marketing by learning how to do it in the early days of many things, and including the internet. I was a webmaster in 1998 for many dentists, and in addition to practicing. So it's kind of like you always are interested in new things, and this is definitely the tip of the sword right now.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me 3 success secrets we can model from what you know.
Yeah, I think the first is learning what other team members do. It's very important to understand how all the cogs run the machine. It gives you a big advantage in your career. So learning like as much as you can. I think also with that, raising your hand to try something new. You don't know what you don't know, and you might really love something if you just try it. So being willing to volunteer to take on new stuff just for your own personal benefit is very helpful. And then lastly, advocate for yourself, especially women. Like, I cannot shout this from the mountaintops enough. If you want something or you feel you deserve something, you have to speak up. It's never going to just be handed to you. I found in my career, I've always had to sort of demand my seat at the table. But once you get it, there's so much you can do with it. You just have to raise your hand. So always advocate for yourself.
Yeah, I'm always looking at who volunteers to be on my podcast. And it's like, it's a volunteer situation, and I've got 3-4 to 1 men over women volunteering to be in front of the world. If you don't raise your hand, you're not going to get called on. That's kind of the
Absolutely.
picture. You're painting, I'm painting. And I learned early on, if you don't have, it's because you haven't asked.
Yep. Totally.
So I began my teaching career. I raised my hand and asked if I could be the one.
Yeah.
Should you want to be one that people buy from, give us the reason.
If you were buying something from me, our service is free, but if you were going to buy something from me or from, our Partnerships Experience Academy, it's because I have learned all of the things you should and shouldn't do, all of the ins and outs of how to run affiliate programs and be successful in this space. So by my knowledge, pretty much it's going to help quite a bit.
So what you're saying is, even though you look fairly young, you're very ancient in this business because you were in the beginning when it was kind of young and you kind of grew with it.
Yeah, and I learned several crash courses. I keep finding myself in positions in my career where I'm the only one who's doing something in this space, and I've had to learn a lot in a very short period of time to be successful.
I like that. Finding an influencer who was on the ground floor and has grown through the pain is valuable.
Yeah.
What you share is going to be very valuable to the people listening in. Wisdom comes from those who've experienced a lot of slings and arrows.
Totally.
You've had a few, I guess. Tell me about who your ideal client would be as far as a business side first.
Yeah, I think and people think all the time like, oh, my company can't do affiliate or it's not right for me for XYZ reasons. The ideal client is somebody who's open to trying something and test and learn. Like, especially if you're a brand that's new to launching an affiliate program, for example, there's no historical data to pull from. So you have to be willing to test and learn to see what's going to fit. We can pull from similar companies and see, what might work, but there's always a sweet spot for every specific company, and it's not going to look exactly the same. It's not copy and paste. This is why affiliate will never be a fully automated paid channel, because there's so much finessing that is done from company to company. So just someone who's willing to not only try new things, but give it the time to scale. I think the other problem with affiliate marketing is companies assume it's an overnight profitable channel for the brand. It's going to take some time to scale. Every paid channel takes a little bit of time to scale. So having the flexibility and the expectations of giving it that lead time to sort of pick up steam and grow with the mindset of some things are going to work and some things aren't. And we'll learn and we'll grow from there. Always data-driven decisions. That's an ideal client for me.
And also, wouldn't be that a startup could really gain instant traction if they use the affiliate marketing correctly?
Yeah, it'll pick up for sure. There's so many factors that go into play. Like, I could talk about this all day, but what other paid media are you doing? What does your PR look like? How much awareness do you have? All of these things are factors that come into the success of your affiliate program. So understanding the rest, like I said, the rest of the way that the machine works helps inform the decisions you make when you're building out an affiliate program.
All right, now let's jump over to the other side, the ideal client, the actual affiliate marketer on the ground who's interfacing with the public.
Yeah, the best, most ideal client there would be someone who is flexible and is open to having open dialogue with the brands they're working with. For some reason, I found that sometimes I come into programs where there's not a lot of open communication, and it's to their detriment. The more you can share data too. So from a publisher aspect, like what you're seeing on your end in your reporting, in your data, being willing to share that with the brand and also ask for the data on their end too, so that you can come to mutual understanding of what success looks like is imperative. And I don't see enough of that. It happens, but not as much as we'd like to see. So the more data sharing and communication can be in place, the more successful everyone will be. So somebody who's very proactive in finding out what works for their brand, what target audience they have, how they can better reach, what messaging they can change. All of that stuff is very important when building a productive partnership.
Now, I know that working with celebrities is part of the goal of every company, and every celebrity wants to have lucrative success when they join forces with a company. How do you create the halo effect to marry these two together? And is that a big part of the success of affiliate marketing?
It is. I think there's a lot of things that come into it when you're working with celebrities. And the first is like expectations again of what success looks like. Because a lot of companies think they're working with big celebrities that it's going to translate directly from that person to sales, and you can draw the line to see the direct correlation. That's not how it works, which is why the halo effect is so important to be keeping track of. So I think what's important to understand also is how your other paid channels are pacing in general. And then once you have promotion with big celebrities, what does their performance look like? I also think like pausing any additional sort of marketing initiatives that are specific to each channel so that you can fully see the halo effect. Like if you know you're not doing any other special promotion outside of this celebrity campaign, that way you'll be able to really see the results when it comes to the halo effect. And then the other piece is like picking the right celebrities to work with, because every celebrity has a different audience. And just because it's a big name doesn't mean it's the right one for your company. So doing the research into their follower base too is very, very important. People that won't resonate with the messaging won't convert. So you need to make sure that their audience is the right target audience for what you're selling.
So, for example, William Shatner, Captain Kirk,
Yep.
he was traveling interstellar space on a regular basis in front of our eyes most of our lives. And what was it, travel.com that got him?
Is it travel.com or is it booking.com? I can never remember.
Well, that's not a good deal if we can't remember.
I know.
They have to work on it. I don't remember. It's like he's the guy. He was the captain, so I guess he was taking us where we wanted to go.
Yep.
So that was pretty smart to put him in there.
Absolutely.
But hey, he didn't think he would be that successful. Probably he just took it on like, I need a few dollars, and it was made him more money than Star Trek.
This is somebody who always raises their hand, like William Shatner is in his 90s and he's still rolling. So that's something to look up to for sure.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger, same way. Yep. It's good to see these guys keep going. Our childhood heroes. Why not?
It is.
Who is your ideal client, or how do you actually find them? I'm sorry. How do you find these people?
Well, in my career, they've kind of come to me. I've been fortunate in that aspect, but I think in general, it's all about connection. In this industry, especially, it's about person to person connection.
It's called positioning. That's why they come to you. You positioned yourself.
Yes. If you look for industry experts that can connect you to the right people, and the FaceTime is so important, especially now that we're all virtual. When there are in-person conferences and things like that, it's really important to meet as many people as you can. You never know who you're going to need to ask, for who you'll want to work with later on, or who you might want to connect with somebody else. So I think just like as much FaceTime as you can get is really important.
How do you crush your competition as far as if you're an affiliate marketer, what can you do that will put you above the rest of the people vying for that same position?
Oh, that's a loaded question. On the brand side, I think, on the affiliate side, on the publisher side, to start with them first, the competition aspect isn't as big of a thing because brands will want to work with, as many productive partners as possible. In any good affiliate program, there's space for everyone. So fortunately for publishers, all you have to do is be a good partner, and they'll keep working with you. On the brand side, getting ahead of competition is all about making sure your partnerships are mutually beneficial. A lot of companies, especially larger ones with big names, think every publisher should just want to work with us because we're a big name. That is not true. You need to make sure that they are also benefiting from the partnership, obviously financially, and that they're getting all of the information that they need. You're being responsive. You're a good person to work with in general. All of those things will lead to more sales, more promotion. All of that good stuff comes from ultimately being a good partner.
Yeah, in this football era of what NIL, and they sign these partnership agreements.
Mhm.
Do you think those things are going to pan out as worthy of the money they're paying out, or is it more of a fad?
We'll see. I think it depends on your definition of worth the money, really, because everybody has different sort of KPIs or goals for any given initiative. So if it's just awareness and eyeballs, yeah, it'll pay off.
Alumni putting money into the school will help. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a well-defined product? Do you have something you actually sell or have offer clients?
So for us, our Partnerships Experience Academy, like I said, is totally free. It's just online trainings in both affiliate and influencer marketing on both the publisher and the brand side. So for now, everything's free. We're starting in-person trainings this year, which will also be free. So keep an eye out for that. But even though it is free, it's still a service we're providing. And we very clearly want to empower people in the space. We want to help you level up your career and become more skilled. So that's kind of our selling point. But for impact.com as a whole, our software itself, we're the best in the business. We're the best technology out there. Anybody running an affiliate program or any affiliates that are working with brands know us and love us.
So again, positioning has put you in a place where all people come to you as the resource in the industry right now.
Yes.
Those who understand what they're looking for.
Yeah.
Very powerful. I like that. So if you had to talk about online platforms, you are the platform of that industry.
Yes. Yep. That's us.
I don't have to ask you even about naming the competition. We won't do that.
No.
Any specific one or two things you do to create a 5-star client experience?
Yeah, I think transparency, number one, is always so important. It's really helpful to build that rapport and trust and respect with clients, being super upfront about what you're doing, why you're doing it, what the expectations are, and then providing information on the outcome. Don't sugarcoat anything. Again, if your client's open-minded, you test and learn, it doesn't work, at least you've learned something even when it fails. So that is so important. Building that trust and respect is number one in any client relationship. And then again, some clients want to be very involved with what you're doing, some don't, and that's fine. Just always being prepared with performance information, data, what you're doing, just in case anybody comes asking, always being on top of what's going on.
So it sounds like you really have to understand the metrics and the KPI
Yeah.
to be an effective advocate for yourself. If you're the brand ambassador who's asking to be paid for their efforts, is there some software that actually tabulates the success of brand ambassadorship and affiliate marketing?
Yeah, so our software Impact is both for both sides of the partnership. So we have data and metrics of success for the brand side and also for publishers. They can see their reporting on their end as well. And then of course social channels too, like Instagram provides you your stats and all of that good stuff, TikTok as well. So yeah, if you're an influencer or a publisher, it's very important if your metrics and data show that you are a successful partner, bring that to the table. I don't think I haven't seen publishers do that enough. Sometimes they're afraid to share benchmarks and that kind of thing, but I think the more you can share, the better.
Pretty cool. I like that. Everybody wants to be a brand ambassador and get the big bucks, right?
Yep.
What can they do to be more effective?
I think becoming a brand fan first and understanding the product is very helpful. And then once you understand the product, reaching out directly to the brand and sort of, again, it's that collaboration. Like, what can I do for you? What can you do for me? How can I help you? It's just that open dialogue is really helpful. And then the other piece of it is trying new things and a ton of self-promotion. So if there's things that you like, and I think the other thing that's interesting too is as we grow in the brand ambassador sort of world, it's becoming more and more challenging to remain authentic and to continue looking authentic to your audience and not too salesy. So my biggest recommendation is work with brands you actually like. Don't take work just for the paycheck if it's not a product you would actually use, because your audience can tell immediately and therefore they won't buy the product. So especially, you know, just from my own like consumer standpoint, when I see a creator that I think legitimately likes the product that they're talking about, I'm far more likely to buy it than if it appears they're just promoting this because they're getting paid to do that.
Perfect analogies. And I like the idea you got to be a brand fan first, and then you got to be a knowledgeable brand fan before you would approach the company, or why else would they choose you, right?
Totally.
If you're speaking with no knowledge about a product, people see through it quickly.
Yes, they do.
It's like in dentistry, you know, we have people that take sales jobs and try to sell to dentists,
Mhm.
and they don't know enough about dentistry. You don't buy anything from people like that.
No,
And it's the same thing with any product. You got to have some experience in the field before you'll actually pay attention to somebody.
absolutely.
So tell me today, what are you grateful for, Joy? Miss
Everything.
Joy.
I'm just in general very, very grateful for where I am in my career, where I am outside of work. Like everything has just kind of, all of the chips have fallen. And I think I owe that to just being willing to try something new and take roles that were challenging. For myself, it's been really fulfilling.
You grew up in California, I guess. You're in LA.
Yep.
How do you start your day out there on the West Coast?
I start my day immediately with coffee, and some snuggles from my cat. And I, you know, sort of leave my husband to sleep a little bit longer than me and have my quiet time with just my coffee and my cat, and I'm ready to go.
Hey, you and I did the same thing most of this week because I've got the cat, I've got the coffee, and I'm up before my wife typically.
Yep.
So, what goals do you have? Where do you want to go from here?
That's a really good question. My boss asks me that a lot. And my answer is I just want to keep growing. I want to keep growing our learner database. I want to keep growing myself, meeting more people. The role I'm in now, I'm so fortunate because I get to travel a lot and meet a ton of people. And I want to keep doing that and going to more places and connecting with more people and making content that is useful to them. I think the more I can expand what we're making at PXA, at the Partnerships Experience Academy, the more I grow as a person. And I'm still learning so much too from our learners and from the people that we work with. So I just want to continue doing that.
Yeah, it seems like you're the success you wanted to be. You
Yeah,
wanted to be a producer, a on-camera personality, and you get to do it all.
I do.
So
I
that's
got
good.
very lucky. Yeah,
And you're getting paid to do it, which is the best.
it is the best.
Are you guys using any paid digital media to attract business to impact.com?
Yeah, of course. All of the paid media for Impact, for PXA specifically, LinkedIn has been our biggest source of connection so far. But we're always looking to expand further. So most paid digital, yeah, we're participating.
Any guidelines you would give us on percentage of revenue to invest? Company wants to grow and use that media?
It's a very loaded question. It definitely depends. Ultimately, like there's no fixed percentage that applies universally. So what's most important is creating a flexible budget that can adapt to your specific circumstances and goals. I'd say the other piece is like once you set a budget, just regularly review and adjust it based on the performance and any changes to, you know, your business environment. But there's no, I wish I could give you a magic percentage, but it just depends on the company. So there's guidelines you can follow to make sure it's in check. But yeah, there's lots of other guardrails you can put in place.
Yeah, I know e-commerce companies or digital software companies have a whole different model than brick and mortar
Oh, yeah.
companies that have products that have to be physically moved around and
Mhm.
created. And one of the things that we do actually is support people in the page digital media, saving them 50 to 90% off their digital media buys. So sometimes people talk to us about that if you're interested.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's your living mentor and what's the impact they have?
My boss, Samantha Parsons, she is unbelievable as a human. She's so inspiring as a woman in business. I mean, if you get a chance to look at her LinkedIn, it's very shocking and impressive, because when you talk to her, you would never know that she's just like, she's so easygoing, so down to earth. And then you look at her resume and you're like, oh my God, this is like the most impressive woman I've ever seen. But she really empowers me and like pushes me to challenge myself more than I would think I could. You know, she gives me a lot of confidence in myself and in my knowledge when I have imposter syndrome or something like that. You know, she reminds me that I'm also amazing. And I think that makes a really good manager and a really good mentor. So she's very supportive and I just love her to pieces.
Sounds like a wonderful mentor, a lady you can admire and respect both. Tell me about your advice that you would give your young 20-year-old self. I know that wasn't but a couple years ago, but
longer than I'd like to admit. I would tell myself to negotiate for every single salary I've ever been presented. I think early in my career, I didn't know that was an option. I think a lot of people, a lot of women don't know that's an option, especially when you're 20 and you're getting out of college. It is. Any internship experience that you have is valuable, and you need to, like we said earlier, ask for what you deserve, especially as you grow in your career. You have to advocate for yourself. I don't think I realized that companies come to you with their lowest offer always. So there's always room to ask for more. And I think it's just so important for people to know that and to ask for their worth.
very good point. Very good point. Having been the boss for many years, I can tell you it's true. Nobody's going to ask somebody to come work for the highest wage in their first offer.
Absolutely not.
Tell me what you'd like to be remembered for.
I would love to be remembered for just not only helping people learn and grow in their careers, but like making them smile while they're doing it. I think it's so impactful for me to be meeting people face to face and say they've enjoyed what we've made for them. And, you know, I just want people to I think that when they say it's impactful and enjoyable, it means I've done a good job at making engaging content, because we've all sat through like HR trainings that are so boring and don't capture you and aren't exciting in any way. And I wanted to be the opposite. I've always wanted to be upbeat and help people ultimately and just be available to them too. So I hope that's what I'm remembered for.
I think you are going to be remembered by my audience. I think upbeat is definitely appropriate, and a great smile.
Thank you.
Professionally qualified to comment on smiles today. That's my job. How can we support you, and tell us how to reach the Academy?
Yes. The best way to support us is to come take some of our courses, learn as much as you can from us. So we are at pxa.impact.com. You can also find us on LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn, on the Partnerships Experience Academy LinkedIn. Like I said, all of our courses are free. We do live webinars every week if you want to learn about our software from both the brand and the publisher side. We're also available for 15, 30-minute calls if you have questions. If you are coming to conferences, please reach out. Like any way you can find us. We just want you to learn from us. So take our courses.
Love it. We love people that give away free training, and we support that totally. And one of the things that we're all about is giving people a chance to shine. And you've definitely done that today. And I would say you're definitely an influencer.
Thank you.
You influence the influencers. So that's even more important. What would you say about your experience on the podcast today?
This is amazing. Thank you so much for having me. Any opportunity I get to sort of promote PXA and what we do and hopefully reach new learners is a win for me, a big win.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you for the sharing. We're going to give you the final word, then I'll come back and speak with you once you.
Yeah, my final word is please keep learning. Always keep learning. Come to Partnerships Experience Academy and take our courses. Let us know what you think, and never forget to raise your hand and try something new.
Raise your hand and try something new. I like it. The final word. my final word, I want you guys to have a taste of freedom. So I've got a QR code up here for my PR. And that code is related to my digital business card. You'll appreciate this, Cody. Digital business card on Ovu will allow you to change it up and move around, add things. And the thing I'm featuring right now is the Influencer Podcast, of course. I have drbillwilliams.tv as the URL that you can go to there and see all the podcasts, including yours will be up later today. And then we have the books I've written, international bestsellers on marketing, actually, and management in the dental field, but it applies to every business, by the way. And I'm also showing different AI technology software that we use so that you can make a shortened URL with this. It also tracks, and it also lets you create a QR code. So this particular is free. Everybody can use it. We give it away. We also have a very unique product called OConnect, which is the leading video platform of the future. We released it just last week to the public. And so because it's new, the features are AI connected. And we have so many things that nobody else has. High definition, actually ultra high definition video, audio, language translation, which will be interesting in the affiliate business. If you want to market into Spanish speaking, English, Chinese, Hindi, Russian, and Arabic on one broadcast, the speaker can be doing English and all the other people can hear it in their language. Your affiliates might enjoy having a little option to go worldwide with their native voice. That's going to be a game changer right there, right? And of course, if you have to track your results, we have some tracking devices that can add information in, and maybe you can gain insights that can add to impact.com, garbage in, garbage out, they say. If you got the right info in, it's going to be good. So we have all kind of things that we are promoting from our side at the Influencers Podcast. So I thank you, Cody, for being our wonderful guest this morning. It's a good day. Thanks for getting up early to meet with us here on the East Coast. And I'm looking forward to good feedback from all my people about how well you serve them with good information and your wisdom. Any final thing you wanted to say?
No, just thank you so much for having me. And this has been amazing.
Okay. Thank you guys, everyone, for tuning in. And we'll be back with you on Friday for the next edition of the Influencers Podcast, live from Atlanta, Georgia. This is Dr. Bill Williams. Have a good week. I'll see you on Friday.